You know how I always say, all you gotta do is just do the things, and most of the things that you let not be done, all the stuff you skip, takes like 10-15 seconds. Let's make a list. These cans have been out here for 3, 4, 5 years. They have filled with water. They have frozen into blocks of ice. And every day I need to throw these away. And I'm like, I'm gonna make a small video about this and just show people that, you know, if society collapsed, you're not gonna have any more of this. And all of this stuff that exists, once it sits in the sun for 6 months or so, it's gone. This though, you might still have those, at least for a time. And then you're gonna start having to make them out of metal or make them out of wood. So whether I'll make a video about this or not, I don't know. All of these, I don't know why we save all of these, but we have a ton of them. And I was using metal brushes for a long time. And I heard Jack Spirko say, don't use metal brushes, because if one gets in here and somehow gets into the meat and then gets into your internal organs, that's a full-blown surgery. Look at all these grills here. This one, these Weber grills are great, but this one here, people leave them on. Amanda, a lot of times, leaves them on and they just deteriorate over time. They get left open and they get rained on and they just eat out. We even have the parts to fix them, but they haven't been fixed. This one here came from the old shop. It looks like it's got a bird nest in there. It definitely has some wasps in there. Smoker that we don't use, charcoal grill that we don't use, gas grill, gas burner that we don't use, but they would all have a use, right? So we save them, because if society collapsed, now keep in mind I'm 52, society has not collapsed ever. Every year we're waiting for it, but it hasn't happened. But if it happened, probably be nice to have that one that you could burn charcoal in, because I do have some charcoal. Probably be nice to be able to smoke in there. Definitely nice to be able to can or boil off of that thing. Water pump, big huge trash transfer pump. Bought it a year ago. It is sat here deteriorating in the sun, because every day I'm like, I'll just put it away later. Water pump, submersible, great pump. That one kind of works, kind of doesn't work sometimes. Got another one over there, but where is it? Right here, sitting in the sun, along with the hose attached to it, right? And the sun is literally just disintegrating this stuff. And I do question, if we put those in storage, those pliable hoses, if mice would chew through them. So just one thing after the other, little tiny things. I'm just gonna make a list here of all the things. Whether we'll make a video or not, I don't know, but at least it's here, and if I decide to get rid of them, it's on camera, because that's always my excuse, right? What I'm really doing right now is removing my excuse.
I'm the last man in the quicksand, and we're losing that lonesome light. And I'm standing just as tall as I can. I was branded with iron and fire.
Mushroom compost, worm castings in the way. Haven't done anything with them, and they need to go over there into those garden beds. Those garden beds, those raised beds have run their course. They're about done. I need to pick all those red peppers, roast them, and put them in some olive oil. And every day I'm like, well, I want to do a video of it. Aquaponics system, a lot of algae in here right now, and it's probably too much nutrients causing a lot of algae. Could be completely off on that, but last year we ran a lot of water hyacinth, and it took care of the problem.
How long have you known me? I asked. He said 15 years or more. When was I happy, my friend? He said he didn't know.
Tubular nylon. You can buy it by the foot. 100-yard spools. I take a big chunk of it. I think this was about 30 feet. Put it in half. And then I've just got knots tied at different distances. I'll wrap this under all of those branches, and then I'll just run this piece back through the hoop. That's a girth hitch. And then I'll take the other end, put it over the ball on the hitch, and I'll drag this to wherever I want it to be.
I'm the last man in the quicksand, and we're losing that lonesome light. And I'm standing just as tall as I can. I was branded with iron and fire.
There's not enough plants growing in here. We got fish making nutrients, but not enough plants sucking up the nutrients. So bought a couple water hyacinths last week, popped them in here, 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3. As you see, still 3, but they're starting to send those little white runners out. So that'll eat up some of the nutrients. Pulled all this corn here. It was in a bunch of buckets, set it here, sunflower seeds and corn, and here it still sits. How long would that take to take up there and give to the chickens? About 2 minutes. Okra over here. We're real good about growing stuff. We just don't use a lot of it, just a practice every year. These okra here though, sitting here, there's the seeds. This one's split open. They'll go to seed and grow more okra next year. As a matter of fact, that's where some of this okra this year came from. These peppers, jalapenos, I need to just slice them, seed them, grill them, pull them off. And by pulling them off, you'll probably find that a lot of this starts to regrow. Got a bunch of basil starting to run. By cutting this off, you'll find that it actually puts out new growth. Bought a bunch of blueberries and figs and a bunch of different stuff, set them over here, waiting for it to get cold to plant them. They're dying out, and I don't know what is making these particular ones. I feel like something got on them at the store, because these have all been together. Some are dying, some are not. And when I was running around at the stores, some of the stores had all their shit dead, and I think that they all came off of the same truck, so they got exposed somewhere. That's all right. It'll grow back for the most part, because it's just foliage, got chemical or something on it, but they will come back. So just continue to water those. The figs, they like snapped out this winter, died. Some winters they do, some they come right back, and the same stems grow more growth. My biggest one did not. So just by pulling on it, I cut some of them, you can see, but just by rocking it, they snapped. So I've got this big, huge fig here, and I don't want it growing out like this. I need to bring just a tie down and just strap them up so that they start growing upwards, because I want to be able to ride through here on a 4-wheeler, not ride over the foliage and have a bunch of figs. I don't know that we'll get figs this year, but they are all putting on figs. There's a lot of figs on here, but they're usually ripened up by now, or at least I think they are, because every SRF we're eating figs, and I'm showing people how awesome they are. These are figs we put in last year. Not doing awesome, but they're going. I need to probably bring over a bunch of rabbit manure, put it around the base, mulch it out around the dew line. Dew line is, if you took a circle, drew a circle around the outside of all the leaves where the dew drips, that's the dew line. So mulch everything around it, but not under it for the most part. IBC totes need to move. I always hate having these out here. I don't know why. I always move them. And then Joel Riles needs them, so they just never got moved this year. That's all right. That's all right. Sheep tractor came in 2 SRFs ago, I think. Worked great. I didn't take care of it. The wheels went flat, and I said from the beginning they need solid wheels, but we ended up with these rubber inner tube wheels. Went flat, and then it's kind of hard to pull, and because it's multiple sections that are tack welded or welded together, it flexes there. So I got a dude's coming to reinforce that, put solid wheels on it. It's gonna make it a little heavier. My main request was that it be able to be moved by hand by one person, and I just don't do that. We always have equipment, and even if it came to the point where something happened to a piece of equipment, we couldn't move it, I've always got a second guy. So just need to move a bunch of this stuff, clean it up. I've been doing a bit of it every day.
How quiet are your thoughts? I asked. He said it's quiet as an avalanche. Can you outrun gravity, my friend? Said no, but I can dance.
I'm walking around out here, no shirt on, get some sun on me, making a few little changes to life, my life. They won't affect anyone else, just me. It'll affect everybody else because I think I'll perform a little better. Just getting a little sunlight on the skin, do some barefoot walking, stop alcohol. I drink, most nights I drink. I feel like I sleep better, but I'm gonna cut that out for 3 months. I got some pokeberries here, need to be pulled. Every day I'm checking them because I want as many of them as I can get. So I'll cut this sprig here. We'll pop them off. Wear gloves when you do that because they'll stain your hands. We got a little jar right in the freezer, and we'll just freeze those. Here's the sheep tractor. When it was put together first, the sheep could crawl under, so we had to put these skirts on there to keep them in. This little brat right here, she still knows how to get under. I think putting a little taller wheels on here will make this roll better because it's catching in a lot of the grass and stuff with that skirt. Without the skirt, this wouldn't have ever been a problem. But I've got one I can put right back on here, so even if they're a little taller, they won't be able to get out. You can see these are bolted together here with these cross members. It really probably needs cross members on the bottom, and it definitely needs one across here. The sheep will walk over it. But that's where the problem is, and it's really because the tires are completely flat, so you're dragging the rim. The rim has actually busted through the tire, and that'll take care of that. Got these branches here. I cut them when I had a saw out here a year ago, and literally never came and grabbed them. I need to grab that. And I always say, oh, when I get the wood chipper here, I'll you know, run them through. And wood chipper's here, and we're always running big stuff, and this never gets done. So it's just a ton of little stuff, right? Every one of those tasks, 5 minutes. I could literally take those branches with some tubular nylon or a chain and drag them right back to the burn pile. Less than 5 minutes. Less than the time to drive across the property. These trees here I ride through here, I'm gonna drop these bottom branches just so we have a clear shot to drive through here anytime. I need to come up and mow around the blueberries. We have a pipe break here. Gas company came through here, trenched this, broke a pipe. My guy fixed it, it's back leaking again. So we're just gonna fix it once and for all, which means we're gonna dig it up right here. It actually comes from there to that spigot, so it runs right about here. But we're gonna take it here, expose a bunch of it, flex it into here, and then put a spigot right here safe by one of these fence line posts. So that's that. Anyways, I could go on for another 30 minutes about all the 5-minute stuff to do, and I won't get anything done, so I'm gonna go get some stuff done.
I'm the last man in the quicksand, and we're losing that lonesome light. And I'm standing just as tall as I can. I was branded with iron and fire. Life ain't nothing but pity and pierogies, brown liquor for the brave. How much water is in the ocean? About 100 million waves. I'm the last man in the quicksand, and we're losing that lonesome light. And I'm standing just as tall as I can. I was branded with iron and fire. I'm the last man in the quicksand, and we're losing that lonesome light. And I'm standing just as tall as I can. I was branded